So I've been paid and I've gone shopping, and yeah, it's basically a month's worth of food. Every week I'll top up on veg and eggs usually. This is how empty my fridge is at the moment. Yeah, so I needed this badly. So this is 4 kilos of frozen chicken. Go through usually a kilo a week of this stuff. Like in my video I've done before, I usually shred it or just wait for it to defrost and grill it. So every day I have bacon. I've got 2 sets of smoked, 2 sets of unsmoked, thick cut. Yeah, buddy. What tends to happen with the bacon is I'll have one in the fridge at all times and then the others will be in the freezer, and I just take them out every week because usually I go through a pack a week. So here are some sausages. Usually what will happen is I'll have the bacon every day, and then every now and again I'll throw in some other sort of meat. So what you're about to see next are sort of meats that I'll have either instead of chicken breasts, like mince, I have that usually instead of chicken breasts through the week, whereas the other meats I usually sort of have every now and again, so I keep them in the freezer and every week I'll go through one. So say if this is week 1, I'll go through these sets of sausages. I've got chipolata sausages and pork and tomato. Usually I'd pick up something else, but I just picked 2 at random that were low in carbs. So this is the mince. I'll either make a chili out of this and have it instead of, say, like shredded chicken breast with mayonnaise. Sort of similar macros in the end, but it just depends how I'm feeling on the Sunday. It depends on what I cook for the week. What tends to happen with these is I'll make a fuckload in a go and then eat throughout the week. Chicken wings isn't one of those things that I'll eat throughout the week. It's one of those sort of, either I'll fit them in for a day and just have them as a meal, or I'll have them sort of as an extra, like a cheat meal sort of thing, like just a big meal if I'm feeling it. Jumbo drumsticks. Yeah, quite like drumsticks. Again, it's one of those things that I'll keep in the fridge and I'll sort of have them as a meal, as my protein and fat for the meal, like with the bacon, with the chicken breasts or the mince or something. It's something that sort of gets cooked and then refrigerated, and I pick them through the week, so I'll pick and choose when I want them, or I'll have them as a meal by themselves. Usually I just sort of lightly season them. Nothing too special, none of these fancy ass marinades. I don't have time for that crap. So yeah, these are some thin cut loin steaks. If you can't read, then done it for you, do all the hard work for you. Sort of again, these might be something I cook for an entire week. So yeah, this is a chorizo. You can only imagine what I do with this. But yeah, it's really good for sort of making a lot of Mexican/Spanish dishes, which for some bizarre reason I do quite a lot of. Yeah, it's really good source of fat as well. And it's really tasty, it's like full of spices and stuff. It gives you flavour for anything. This is corned beef. If you're subscribed to my Instagram, you'll probably remember quite a popular post was my little sort of like, I don't even know what to call them. They were like in ramekins and stuff, and I served them out and they were all nice looking. I also did them in my full day of eating. You'll probably see, if you look carefully, me dropping them into a pan. I think I had them for my evening meal, so the 3rd meal of the day. These are tins of tuna. Here I've got 8. I'm sure I have 10. There's probably 2 floating around in some of the other bags. These are obviously really low. These are in brine, and they're tuna chunks, so they're sort of, well, chunky as opposed to really horrible. They're basically the same as like John West tuna and stuff. This stuff goes great in like the fish cakes and stuff that I do on my Instagram. Also mix them with a fuckload of mayo. So I'm going to move on to dairy, which is sort of like another big staple because it encompasses things like butter and cheese. It's great for getting your fats in. Surprisingly has quite a bit of protein in, which is handy if you're doing like a vegetarian keto diet. You can just eat a load of sort of cheese and stuff and it'll just get your protein in. First, one of those things that I'll always use, which is just mature cheddar. I either get this, and if anyone's ever been to Asda, they'll know that they also do a double Gloucester or a red Leicester. I think I've still got some red Leicester in the fridge, but they do them in blocks this big. Great value for money. Again, high in fat, fairly decent protein, and really low in carbohydrates. Like, just put cheese on everything, basically, guys. Just cheese on everything. Got some feta cheese. which is great for putting in like salads and stuff. It's really salty, it's really delicious. The cheese I've got is some Parmesan. I've got the grated stuff because I like to make carbonara, which is literally just Parmesan and eggs and a touch of cream. And it's great, it's so simple to make. I'll probably make a recipe video for it soon. Got some blue cheese, just in case any of you have ever thought that I'm nice or pleasant to kiss. I'm not. I fucking love this stuff, and frankly don't care. Got some German smoked cheese. Normally I don't get it with chunks of ham in, but they also do one with chilli, but I got the ham one this time. Usually it's like a lot thicker than one I normally get, and it doesn't have ham in, but that was out of stock, so I thought I'd risk it, get some ham. Some mozzarella. Yeah, I've got the block of it instead of getting sort of the balls in the liquid. I find that this stuff keeps a lot better and melts quite a lot better. You don't end up with like a really high water content in your food, you end up drinking your food as opposed to eating it. I've got soft cheese, got 2 packs of it. Usually in the morning if I do scrambled eggs, I'll mix that in with it, get your fat up. Also tastes great, well I think it tastes great anyway. Good for fat bombs, good for sticking next to stuff or in stuff and just stirring it through, it's really good. Got soured cream, again, love my sort of Mexican, Spanish sort of food. Also goes into sort of the lemon fat bombs, like in the video I did. We've got double cream. Come back. We got double cream. Fresh British cream. I've been known to put it in some protein shakes and stuff, sort of give it a milkier consistency. Quite frankly, it's just good to drink as well. Got some unsalted butter. I think I've also got some salted somewhere. I can't be asked digging through the pile of food to find out. Like, just a side note that my car is a Ford Focus, not one of your low-fat Fiestas. It's a full-fat Ford Focus, and I barely managed to fit all this in the boot. Another thing that I eat a lot of is eggs. I usually eat them in sets of 5, hence why I get the 15 packs. Each pack lasts about 3 days, depending. Some days I'll have 2 sets of meals, or I'll have like, in my full day of eating, I'll have like extra eggs throughout the day in different recipes and stuff. Right, just thought I'd get these out of the way now, seeing as they're here. Yeah, this is peanut butter. Crunchy peanut butter from Sainsbury's. Everything else is from Asda, this is from Sainsbury's. Why? Because for every 100 grams, there is carbohydrates 6. I fucking love peanut butter. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is chunky, so yeah. I'm a chunky, not a smooth kind of guy. Deal with it. It's just so nice. I should eat it with a tablespoon, quite frankly. It's absolutely brilliant. So now we're moving on to sort of like the next big thing in your sort of food triangle, which is going to be sort of like your leafy greens and stuff. I've gone through your proteins and the fats. So now we're going on to sort of like the vegetables. These are sort of like quite a good staple, especially at the moment because I'm cutting. It's quite good to sort of, they basically have nothing, but they're great to pad a meal out. So you can have like an entire Tupperware full of them and it's literally worth nothing. I prefer the hearts of romaine because they're quite crunchy. And a lot of people prefer sort of like a leafy lettuce or whatever. And I'm really sad to turn into a food snob doing these videos. Kill me. So we got some spinach. Again, this shit I eat by like the kilo. I throw like handfuls of it into meals. Again, it pads things out. I do actually like the taste of spinach, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try and Popeye it up a bit, although it's not in a can. Next up we got tomatoes. These, I put on a lot of things. Put them with meals, I cut them up into meals, I cut them up for salads, whatever. So normally they do peppers in sort of like packs of 5 where there's like a load of greens and 1 red. They don't have any of them in, so I went for the next cheapest decent option, which is a set of 2. I think they were like 75p or something, absolute theft. Yeah, I used out, the greens obviously have less carbohydrates than the reds, but not that much difference, not enough for me to justify not using the red, so I will use it at some point. Shrooms! Yeah, mushrooms. They're actually quite high in protein for a vegetable. They're not too bad for carbohydrates, but I like to like fry them in fuckloads of butter and garlic and then just like rub them on myself. What? Onions! They're the base of most meals. Great for just adding flavour. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, to be fair, the secret to onions is not to get emotionally attached so you don't cry while you cut them up. Cabbage! So yeah, cabbages people don't tend to like too much. I usually make them into like coleslaw or something, or I'll boil them up and stick them on the side of a dish. Broccoli, yeah, I eat a fuckload of broccoli basically. Usually have like 100 grams a day of it, which is I think about 7 grams of carbs. yeah, I really like broccoli. Like, I've got 3 of these, they'll probably last me a week. So for those of you that creep on my Instagram a lot, I sort of use cauliflower as a replacement for sort of rice and stuff, grate it up and cook it. I also put it in other meals. I do all sorts of stuff with it. It's really good. I'll probably stick some recipes on my YouTube at some point. You can make quite a decent pizza base out of them, actually. Ah, another broccoli! Tins of chopped tomatoes. Really good for sauces, really good for making chilies, and stuff like that. I'm going to get onto quite a big category now for me, which is like condiments and stuff. It's sort of like, I put a lot of mayo on things. I love the taste of mayo. I just like it. You don't have to use it, you can use whatever you want. But I tend to go through a lot of mayonnaise. What I also tend to do is make a lot of the same meal just because it's quick. And I don't mind eating the same thing over and over again. Like, I'll make a lot of tuna mayo with bacon, or I'll make a lot of tuna mayo or whatever with that. And with that, I tend to put like a sauce or something on top of it. Just so that it's a bit different day in, day out, but it helps me to fit my macros in. So yeah, let's go through this. So normally I get this stuff, reggae sauce. A lot of people know that it's quite high in carbohydrates, but what I tend to do is you're really not using much of it. So if there's 100 grams, if 100 grams has 32.6 grams of carbohydrates in it, and you only use 10 grams of it, it's only 3 grams of carbs, it's nothing. But I also found Asda's equivalent, which I'll be trying out, seeing what the difference is and see which one's better. I assume the reggae, but the Asda's own has less carbohydrates. Ooh. The thing with the condiments is that I tend to have them in the cupboard for a few months before I get around to using them, because I get quite a lot, as you're about to see. So these things could last me 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 months, some of them. So next up is piri piri. Really like piri piri. Again, low in carb, Asda's own, because I'm cheap as shit. These are really good. Frank's hot sauces, I usually get 1 big bottle, but I've never seen the 3 different flavours. Normally there's only this one knocking around, but I've managed to get a hold of these 3. So we've got the Frank's Original, as per usual. Frank's Red Hot Chili Lime. Frank's Red Hot Wings. It'll go well with my wings. When it comes to having salads, I tend to sort of throw mayo on, and if I want an extra bit of flavour in there, I'll chuck a shitload of this sort of stuff on. They're relatively high in carbohydrates, but again, sort of like similar to the reggae, you don't want to use a lot at a time, and you won't use a lot at a time, so it won't really make that much of an impact. We've got the Caesar, then we've got garlic and herb. There's also another one, there's like a creamy blue cheese as well, but I can rarely find that one. Ketchup, 30% less sugar, 25% less salt. Yeah, about 11 grams of carbs for every 100, so I usually go to town when I put this on stuff. Really like guacamole. Again, Mexican, Spanish food, really like it. It's great to sort of stick on like the chili and stuff, or if I'll make like something with the chorizo, it's really good. Some salsa, again, Spanish/Mexican stuff. It's easy to throw on stuff, just adds a bit of flavour and a kick. So yeah, mayonnaise. I've got 3 of these. I've got 3 of them, and I think 2 of them. And they probably won't last me the month, to be honest with you. The reason I got 2 different ones is this tastes better, so I'll tend to put that on like the side of a plate or something to like squeeze it out on the side of a plate and dip things in it. Whereas this stuff is good for like, it doesn't have as much flavour, it doesn't taste quite the same. As weird as that sounds. So that's really good for doing like chicken mayo and stuff. It helps save me money basically. But I usually make my own sauces with like the tin tomatoes and stuff. But some days if I fancy them and I can't be arsed making, I don't have time to make something, I've got some of these, which are sort of like pasta sauces. So I've got one that's for meatballs, which is really handy. This one's really quite nice. So wannabe Italian flavours in there. Next is tomato and mushroom. Again, a really nice one. With a sprinkling of basil and oregano, sort of similar to the meatball one, but with mushrooms in. And the final one is chunky veg. Do a good bit of chunky veg. I tend to go through quite a lot of these in a week. Oxo, well I say in a week. I tend to go through quite a lot of these in a month. Oxo cubes, great for chili, or anything to do with mince, I usually stick them in. And these are what I stick in with the chicken, when I boil chicken, cook chicken, whatever. Good for soups and stuff as well, if you guys fancy soups. I didn't realise that. Hey, some coconut milk. I don't always buy this stuff, but I've got an idea for a recipe coming up, so I'll be using this. We've got some hot English mustard. Usually I'll stick this in something like chicken mayo, tuna mayo, anything with sort of mince and stuff, or I'll put it on top of things. It's got like a little spicy kick to it, which is really nice. So this next lot is a load of stuff that sort of helps Helps with cravings really and other things with the diet. Sweetener, I usually stick this in sort of recipes, or I'll stick it in my cups of tea or whatever, or my coffee. Yeah, fake sugar. If you don't know what this is, you haven't lived. So tea, Yorkshire tea, because I'm from Yorkshire. Does anyone know that? Does anyone care? So yeah, I got the jelly like I make every week in the video. Raspberry, blackcurrant, orange, jelly, lemon and lime, strawberry. Yeah, sugar-free chewing gum. Basically in the corner over there, I have a companion cube full of chewing gum. A lot of people complain that they get bad breath from this diet. I don't quite understand if that's a myth or not. But yeah, these are really good for sort of keeping your breath smelling good. They're also quite sweet, so you can I chew them throughout the day just to keep me going. And kudos if you stuck through the video this long. We got some sugar-free dilute, double strength from Asda. Sugar-free, no added sugar even. Yeah, really good. It's basically a glass of these. Just has nothing really in it. So I drink them all day long. Drink them when I go to the gym. Drink them at work. Oh, also on the subject of drinks, we've got some olive oil. Didn't realise that was floating around down there. Yeah, again, great for just cooking anything and getting your fats in. Decent fats, really nice. I don't think it's got anything other than fat in it, to be honest with you. Yeah, nil of everything but fat. So yeah, neck a couple of bottles of that, you'll be fine. Last on the list is sort of other things that keep me going are these. They're like fake pop, basically. Asda's own, obviously, because I'm dirt cheap again. No added sugar, and they're really nice and like they're just like a good sweet kick. Sometimes it's like a pick me up or just nice to drink, really. Personal favourite is the Mango Crush. But yeah, we got lemon and lime, Mango Crush, Iron Brew. Anyone from sort of England will get that reference. I'm not just being racist to the Scottish. And lemon and oh fuck, I've got two of the same thing. Yeah, bollocks. I also picked these up because they're going for £1 each. Regular old Pepsi Max and Pepsi Max Cherry. So yeah guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go clean up all the bags and the bottles. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see in the description down below. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments down below. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all the general social media things. And I appear to have got the ones without the fucking keys on.